Hi everyone. So there's multiple reasons why I'm making this video. One of the reasons is because I kind of feel like the face of self-harm nowadays are kind of pale girls who are like 15 and cut themselves and post pictures on Tumblr. Which all in itself is sad because it's almost like because of that people don't think that anyone else can be depressed or anyone else can hurt themselves. Um, like I was just before this, I was like, oh, I'm gonna look up other videos on other self-help videos on self-harm, and everyone looked almost very similar. I saw one girl who looked remotely like me, as in her skin was dark, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make one just because um, it's I don't know. It's a little bit more comforting seeing someone who looks like you, um, talking about something that you've been through, and it's great that everyone is talking about their struggle and everything. But it just allows a little bit more diversity. So that's something that I'm doing, and I'm sure people might get mad at me for that, and I really could care less. So before I kind of get into like the tips and the recovery on this video, I'm just gonna really quickly talk about my struggle through self-harm. I started cutting myself when I was 13, and this was when I got into middle school, of course, because that's, I feel like, always when it happens, because middle school is like the angstiest time of everyone's life. And I had taken on and off breaks all throughout middle school and all throughout high school, and I didn't cut myself anytime through college. I was too busy. Even also at the end of high school, I was way too busy to even think about being depressed. And then the peak slash fall of it was when I moved here to Florida, and it was during my Disney college program. Which I know sounds really strange because you work at Disney World, you get to go to the parks whenever you want. But at the same time, there was a lot of stuff that was going on with me personally. It was my first time really far away from home. It was my first time far away from all my friends and kind of the comfort that I'd gotten used to. I felt like one of my best friendships was falling apart. My friend that I actually moved here to Florida with, our friendship was not nearly as strong as it was before, and so that took a really kind of huge toll on me. And I was actually considering not being his friend anymore because I was just kind of in a really huge point of self-hatred that I feel like he didn't deserve to deal with this mess of a person. So that was why I was doing that. Also at the same time, one of my other best friends was back in Texas. I felt like was falling apart because I wasn't talking to her as much. And so there's numerous reasons why I was doing things I was doing all throughout my life. I remember in junior high, I was cutting myself because I thought that I was just really, really ugly. I thought that I was just really, really just not pretty. And this happened for me as soon as I got my braces. I like hated myself the second that happened. I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. I didn't like having pictures of me taken. I would never smile with my teeth in pictures unless people asked me to, because I just hated the way that my braces made me look. And of course I was going through puberty, so I was like breaking out and didn't know how to do makeup and all that. I still don't know how to do makeup, whatever. And it was just a really, really rough time for those 6 years that I was doing that. I was going through like just up and down kind of things, which is normal, especially in a younger person. And I was in my room in my apartment during my Disney college program, and all my lights were off, and I was watching YouTube videos, and a Paramore music video pops up, and I was like, oh hey, I love Paramore, I love this song, I'm gonna watch this video. And the lyrics in the song kind of struck me right in the heart. This sounds so stereotypical and it sounds disgusting, but the song changed my life forever. I actually didn't realize I was wearing a Paramore shirt until just now. But I listened to this song and I fell asleep to it I'm pretty sure I called out of work that day because I was just like, I need a day to myself, because I just realized this huge thing that what I had been doing on and off for 6 years was not helping me. It was hurting me. It was hurting people that I cared about, and it was something that I needed to stop as soon as possible. So after that, I got a tattoo because that's what I always do after great things happen to me. I get tattoos. And it's the one that I have right here, which you probably can't see, but if you look at my tattoo video, you can see it perfectly. But it says Hope Embraced, and it's from the Paramore song Miracle, but it's inspired by the song Last Hope, which is the one that kind of helped me get over my self-harm and everything. And after that, it was around that time that I called my mom and I was like, hey, I need some help. I need antidepressants or something. And of course, my mom is perfect and great. She sent them to me, and then I slowly started just recovering. And after that, I've been fine. I've been a year clean from self-harm with no relapses and everything like that. That's just, and again, that's just my story. It goes a lot deeper than that. I mean, not really. But I mean, that's just my story. This is what I was going through. So don't feel like, oh, I need to find this song that's going to change my life. So that's not always going to be the case. That's just what happened for me. So now that I talked about my story, I am going to talk about tips and things that you can do to help yourself stop self-harming, because that is the goal of this video. The main reason why I made this video also is because I know some friends of mine whose younger relatives are hurting themselves, and it depresses me more than life itself, because it's this thing that I know I went through, and I know that it was for a certain reason, and it hurts me knowing that other people are going through that. So these are things that I'm going to start talking about that hopefully will help you. Tip number 1, don't spend so much time on Tumblr. I know that sounds really, really strange, but depending on what kind of blogs you're following, it's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. If you're following like the inspiration blogs or positivity blogs, not positivity blogs, like blogs related to the human body, and like the inspiration and workout blogs, and beauty blogs and stuff like that, that is not going to help you. It's going to make you feel worse, because what you're going to be thinking about is like, oh, I don't look like this girl, I don't look like this guy, and it's going to cause this storm of self-loathing, and that's just going to kind of just destroy you mentally over time, and that's not good. On top of that, it's a matter of, when you look in the mirror, finding things that you like about yourself, not things that you instantly dislike about yourself, because that's also very self-destructive. Surrounding yourself with positive energy is going to change you a lot. Doing things with your friends, listening to positive music, talking to your family, watching funny movies, things like that are things that are going to help you a lot more than you realize. So do those things. Don't follow depression blogs on Tumblr. I'm so upset that they even exist. Tumblr's changed a lot, so now even when you Google things like, search things on Tumblr like depression or self-harm or cutting, it instantly pops up this message that says, are you okay? Do you need help? Here's a self-help number, blah, 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 blah. Because coming from the girl who has tried to kill herself 2 or 3 times now, seeing yourself in a negative light is going to make everything worse. And it's going to just, it's going to suck. And it doesn't sound very intellectual, but that's what I mean. Honestly, it's going to suck. So just surround yourself with positive energy, because if you keep surrounding yourself with negativity, it's going to make everything worse. And it's not going to make you want to get better. It's going to make you want to keep being sad. And another thing that you can do as far as getting over your depression, depending on where you're cutting yourself. I was cutting myself on my thighs. Remind me to show you my tattoo later. I was doing things like putting ice on my thighs or on my wrists, even though I wasn't cutting on my wrists, or snapping rubber bands on my wrists or on my thighs, writing words in red marker because it stimulates blood in your mind, I guess. Things like that. I also got this thing called a Wreck-It journal. Let me get mine really quick. I found it. It's actually called a Wreck This journal. I'm sorry. But it's the most therapeutic thing. I don't think you would really imagine being therapeutic. But you literally just write things in it. It'll have instructions. So it'll say things like, carry this with you. Add page numbers. What's another one? What's one that's fun? Like drag this journal on the ground, skip pages. Getting something like this, like just like random things like this, like draw random circles, color this page recklessly, bookmark this page. Like, it's things like this that are going to be your own personal therapist. If you're too afraid to go to a therapist, or therapy is too expensive, which it is, do something like this. It's $11 on Amazon. Get this for your brother, get this for your sister, get this for your friend, because these work really, really well, and it's fun, and it distracts you, and it's just a great way of kind of helping you kind of get over this thing and kind of distract you from it. So, I don't know if this helped at all. If anything, it's just kind of giving you a look at how sad I was. And if you are a parent watching this and you're afraid that your child is hurting themselves, don't be afraid to ask them. I know that's going to be hard. I know that you don't want to make it worse, but especially if you know for sure, you need to talk to them. Or hell, let me talk to them. If I know you, let me talk to your child. I'm good at talking to kids. I was trained for that for almost 2 years. Get them a Wreck This journal. They're so much fun. Hang out with them, go to movies with them, talk with them, take all of your family to dinner, play random sports, go in a drive-in movie, make dinner together, dance in the living room to songs that used to make you guys happy. Because people get busy, people change, people grow up, but you can't let your kids grow up too fast, and you can't make it seem like your kids are growing up alone, because I can promise you that attention from the right kind of attention from the kids' parents are going to change everything. And I'm not saying that my parents didn't give me the right kind of attention, but it just felt different to me, because people get busy, and I think people forget that anyone in the world can be depressed, and you want to be what they think about before they try to hurt themselves. Because if I were to think about my parents before I were to start cutting myself, I would never have done it, because I wouldn't want them to have to deal with that. So what I'm going to do is post in the description box any resources that you guys might need, like suicide helplines, self-harm helplines, and my playlist. That was my feel-good playlist, down below. And before I leave, let me show you my tattoo really quick. So this is my tattoo. You probably can't see it too well, but it's an elephant with like roses and stuff. And I got an elephant because they're one of my favorite animals. They're one of the strongest animals. They're very female-oriented, and they're very family-oriented. And the females in my life and my family in my life is very important to me. So that's why I got an elephant. And if you're wondering why it's so huge, because I was cutting myself a lot because I was depressed. So I'll post more tips and my playlist in the description box below. If you need any help or any advice, feel free to contact me. I'm going to post this on all my social media stuff because I want everyone to know about it. So please feel free to contact me. And by the way, I did dye my hair blue. And I'll probably make a video about my depression separate from this another time. But I need a pretty large break in between sad videos. So again, let me know if you guys have any questions below, and I will talk to you guys later. And you're super beautiful, and I love you. Bye!